Exclusive news! XDefiant's toxic work environment has been confirmed and exposed to the public. Let's dive into what the article got to say, man. Following Insider Gaming's exclusive report this weekend, it took all but 12 minutes for executive producer Mark Ruman and other distinguished tweet from Aces to shoot down the rumors of XDefiant's delays aren't related to chasing Call of Duty. I mean, it's their biggest competitor, but sure, why not? Nevertheless, Ruben did confirm that the game has yet again been delayed, but his latest delay was because of major technical issues related to the game's netcode, which is an issue that has been outlined since November of 2023. As previously mentioned, XDefiant has missed dozens of internal milestones and deadlines these past couple years, and although Ruben's latest comments on XDefiant's missing its latest release date due to netcodes are accurate, it's not a simple case of one and done issue that has played the game for years. What I don't understand is if you're gonna make this game, right? This game has been in the back burner for almost a year. And we've had several betas, right? Several extensive betas. When I played it, the game seemed smooth. I never had any really delay issues. Maybe everybody's experience was different, but I never experienced delay issues. And it's been a while since I played the beta, so maybe my mind's a little bit rusty. Maybe they see something that I don't. At first, the Boys Club was a name given to a select few individuals who caused constant problems for the game. My bad, y'all. My brain is fried right now. Constant problems for the game's development, and the term was collectively agreed upon by some members of the team who feel a sense of camaraderie. Whew, man, what a time to be a woman in the gaming industry, for real. Like, sheesh. At least no breast milk is being stolen, so I guess that's a plus. Oops, my bad. You was just supposed to play the fucking Kanye beats. Play the Kanye music. Play the Kanye music. But sir, we're tired of Kanye. You play the Kanye music. Play that music. Play the beats and then play it now. Okay. Good. Good. You're a good streaming service. Anyway, while there isn't an exact date on when the club evolved into something more sinister, several sources stated that the change became the most apparent around the time when the Tom Clancy brand was dropped publicly around early 22. Before the decision, the game was intended to be released in the holiday of 2021 without any significant issues that plagued the game today. So essentially, the game actually was supposed to come out carry the 2, multiply that by 4, 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? With no problems. Smooth as a silk slippery succotash. I don't know. The seal. Smooth as a silk baby seal. I like that. Okay. Smooth as a silk baby seal. The change meant for more freedom for the project, allowing the Boys Club to make unnecessary changes, which has had a domino effect on the progress of the game. Despite the warnings from the team, it's currently added over 2 years to the game development. Eventually, things got so bad in the work culture that the Boys Club even spread to other studios at Ubisoft. So this practice actually was a plague that spread from studio to studio. So XDefiant team isn't the only team dealing with this boy club culture. And the issue with the Boy Club isn't that it's managers or directors telling developers what to do. After all, that's their job. But it's the lack of work ethic, unpleasant behavior, and the egos from these individuals that have created a really unhealthy place to work, said sources. Man, that's so dark. That's so dark. How bad does it get? I hope it just starts. I mean, I hope it starts and stops at the games, and it doesn't get to anything more. It doesn't spread out to like harassment or bullying of anything of that nature. I mean, crunch sucks. You know what I mean? Especially for a game that was already complete 3 years ago. And for us to still be here in 2024, still working on that same project, still putting in 10, 12-hour games to fix a netcode that originally wasn't bad is mind-boggling to me. That's mind-boggling to me. The Boys Club is a closed group of protected individuals, so people at the top, who think they're better than everyone else and do as they please without any repercussions. One member has a history of treating people extremely badly with more HR reports than I've ever seen. She must work in HR. I frequently was told the following by upper management, of course. What do you know? You've never shipped a game before. If you want to make it to where I'm at, do you need to do X, Y things? X, Y, Z. Who do you think said that? You think it was Mark Cuban? Who was the one who said that? That's his name, right? Mark Cuban? Yeah, Mark Rubin. Mark Cuban's the billionaire off Shark Tank. Of course. How could I be so dumb? Anyway. Said a former developer who's since left Ubisoft altogether because of how they were treated. I've heard that it's pretty bad over there, but it's bad everywhere since it's spread out at Ubisoft, to be honest. Oof, God. Now it's spread everywhere at Ubisoft? It's not looking good for Ubisoft stock right now. Oh, Lord. Imagine Prince of Persia team. God, I'm glad they got their game out when they did. Imagine having to delay a game that was already done just to receive more abuse from your team. Ah, couldn't be me. So let's dive into this infamous netcode. As of late 2023, the XDefiant team has been facing a huge hurdle with the game's netcode. As Mark Rubin has already outlined, the game has significant issues and needed fixing. The game that should have came out 3 years ago. Okay. Ironically though, this has been a known issue for years. Look at this. This is nothing new. So this is nothing new. These excuses that Mark Rubin are plastering all over Twitter is nothing new. So you're telling me you're still working on the same problem from 3 years ago? Okay. It could have been avoided. These problems could have been avoided if leadership had listened to the rest of the team. But as the suggestion didn't come from their bubble, or should we say the boys club, the advice was always ignored. Wow. So let's imagine you're a developer and you have all these great ideas to not only fix the netcode, but to get the game shipped out to the consumers. Hey, what's up, my boy? Appreciate you for tapping in. Apparently you get the double follow badge, you dig? I got to fix that. Woo!
Leona Talk has tapped in.
Appreciate you tapping in, my boy. Oh, man. Appreciate you. Nice glasses. Thanks, man. Where you from? I'm from Texas, bro. But not like Texas Waco, like RDC. I mean like Texas, other part of Texas. You from Washington, D.C.? Oh, man, that's dope. Appreciate you tapping in, bro. Yeah, we just running through the news right now, bro. Nothing major. Are you an XDefiant fan? Because if so, I got some heartbreaking news for you, my man. Insider Gaming understands that the game's netcode is still a significant issue for the project. Again, a project that has been spanning over 3 years. It's cool. And it's struggling to reach the eternal goal of 100 players per server. Now, let me ask you this. Why would a 6v6 game need over 100 players? Were they trying to go for a sort of battle royale type of feel? Is that why this game's taking so long? They're trying to figure out a way to implement a battle royale system in 2024. This genre is actually being bled out, so I don't understand why they would want to even try to take this approach. You know what I mean? Of course the underlying reason, money. But really, if they were to introduce this type of mechanic into the game at this stage in the game, to where consumers are begging and pleading for this game just to drop, and they introduced a gameplay trailer introducing a battle royale, I think the hype would actually be demolished. I can't see it going any higher. I think we're actually tapped out. I think we're actually tapped out of that genre. So I hope and I pray and I wish that that's not the case. It's understood that the netcode issue originated from a significant change brought on the boys club after the Tom Clancy name dropped. The simple case of just dropping the name based on fan feedback resulted in a frenzy of adding new factions, maps, and other features that need to be built from scratch. Okay, so they're getting their assets fresh out the ground. I guess I can resonate with that. Initial feedback was ignored, corners were cut, and huge technical issues that could have been avoided arose. Mark Rubin has said that he will update the game stats in the coming weeks, but Insider Gaming understands that the game is currently undergoing as many internal playtests as possible. So they're still trying to figure out the netcode. So were they trying to go for a Warzone-esque type of game when it comes to that type, like 100 players per server. What was their goal there? What was their goal with 100 players per server? To support the expected hundreds of thousands of players that will play on launch. Okay, it's one of the major reasons for the past weekend's closed playtest, and we saw test netcodes, social features, battle pass, and store. During the weekend test, players who played the game and spoke to Inside Game said the netcode still wasn't great. The hit registration was described as being terrible or off, with bullets not registering. However, all of that could have been avoided if they would have listened to their developers, the people actually working on the game. In regards to chasing Call of Duty, which is one of the headlines that everybody keeps falling back to. Oh, they're just chasing Call of Duty, trying to release at the same time as Call of Duty. In our previous report, we reported that XDefiant delays have stemmed from the never-ending pursuit of chasing Call of Duty, which has resulted in developers becoming increasingly frustrated with the lack of progress. This isn't an issue that caused the recent delay, or so they tell us, but an issue that has plagued the game for years and a subject that the boys club finds sensitive when brought up eternally, and after our past report seems publicly too. While there's no mention that the new first-person shooters should take inspiration from other popular titles on the market, sources who spoke to Insider Gaming said it became evident really quickly that Call of Duty was the only title that leadership was interested in. So they're saying they're not following Call of Duty, but all the evidence points towards them trying to chase Call of Duty. With every creative decision, it is quickly ended with the same rhetorical question: what would Call of Duty do? This game is starting to feel less of a game and more like a fuck you from Mark Rubin. It sounds like he's a salty boy who wants to develop a game that's going to kill the very creation that he helped bring into the mainstream. That's what it sounds like to me. That's just my opinion. Hey, I've been wrong before. Maybe he won't ever publicly admit it, but I'm just gonna lay that down where I found it. You dig? As Mark Rubin said in his response, the game remains the same that you played already. So it's the same game. We're just not gonna release it. We're gonna keep pushing it back, and we're gonna figure out what Call of Duty would do. What would Call of Duty do? Call of Duty would implement a war zone. Call of Duty would charge you $5 per skin. I bet you that's why they're delaying it. They're trying to figure out the best ways to monetize this game. I'm almost positive. The game was good back in 2021. It was smooth, but higher ups or the boys club came through, made unnecessary changes, and now the game is still unreleased. This is the game that should have came out 3 years ago. So where is it now? Not in my PC, apparently not in my SSD drive. As of the time of this writing, there's no release date for XDefiant. Clearly, the video game industry is not in a good place right now. Something has to be done, or we might have another crash, and I definitely do not want to see that. But the way that we're these practices in modern gaming, it's not looking good, my boy. It's not looking good at all. Hopefully they can get their shit right, get this boys club situated before it gets worse, before breast milk starts going up missing and all that shit, man. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see.